This, folks, is my 40-meter beast. It's a homebrew. Well, it's a hybrid homebrew because quite often I do like to do my own completely home-rolled constructions, and they're quite often a conglomeration of other people's ideas. This is my chocolate box receiver that I built right at the beginning of my return to ham radio. It's an 80-meter direct conversion receiver, and I made my first QSO on that rig via CW on 80 meters with a homebrew key, homebrew transmitter, homebrew antenna. I do love to home roll the entire thing, but I also like to grab something that works really, really well and add to it. And in this case, this unit here has the QRP Labs, I am a fanboy, receiver module. And that receiver module I added, because it's designed for the digi modes, I added a CW filter of my own making, and I also built the transmitter section as well. And surprisingly, despite my best efforts to build it really badly, it works really, really well, and I'm really happy with it. Well, it's that time of the video where I'm going to ask you to reach down, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and also notification. Now, if you hit the notification and you just leave it like that, that'll be the recommended notification. Please hit notification and then hit the little arrow and scroll down and make sure you hit all if you want to see all of my videos. I am fast approaching 4,000 subscribers, so thank you to all the people that have been interested and have commented on the videos, provided feedback and all that great stuff. Ham community is a wonderful place to be. Back to the video. But I would love to be able to QRO occasionally. I am a QRP fan as well, but occasionally a little bit more is helpful, especially with the present band conditions. And so what I'm going to show you now is something that I bought a little while ago, and I've been using it with my QCX, and it is a 50-watt amplifier, also care of QRP Labs, and I would love to be able to pair my beast with that amplifier, but I'm lacking one thing on my current design, and that is a push to talk, which is very remiss of me. But I think I have a way of adding that without too much pain, although every time I open this, I'm flirting with the danger of it not ever working again, or even catching on fire. Anyway, we're going to give it a crack, so stick around. This will be a short one. I'll get the push to talk in, hopefully, and hopefully it works, and I'll be able to show you a beast that is even beastier. 50 watts. Let's go. Okay, back on the test bench, and we're going to open this up and have a look inside. And we need to find, this is my pinout for the VFO that was care of the project that I did on the 49er when I tried to make it frequency agile. So there's a video on my channel, linked below to that video. This VFO works really, really well, and it's got auto CQ on it, and I have managed to get that going. When I first built this, that wasn't going, so I added that, and I thought I was done. I managed to get the side tone in another modification working to my liking. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. But now I would like to be able to add a push to talk function on it, or a way of keying the amplifier. So we need to get inside, and when you see what's inside, if you haven't already seen it, you'll be surprised by just how wonderfully organized the interior of this transceiver is. It's a really fine representation of, you know, high level RF design. And so without further ado, let's have a look at that situation. There you have it, folks. I wasn't lying, was I? Everything's nailed down like it should be. You know, nothing can possibly go wrong with this setup. Oakley dokily, I have wired up very ugly style. There is the transistor. That's going to be the positive lead on the collector. That's the emitter going through the relay coil, and that is the base actuator. So when the pin goes high, Switches the transistor on and shuts the relay, shorting the push torque to earth, and that's going to all be wired up. Hopefully it works. Fingers crossed. Well, after mucking around with this relay for ages, and it all worked like it should, but it wasn't keying the amplifier. So I went and had a look at the manual, which is what I probably should have done in the first place. And the amplifier is looking for a positive logic state rather than an earth. So what I ended up doing was, because I know it's feeding into, I'm pretty sure it feeds into a FET, so it's a high impedance situation. I thought, why not just try and come straight out of the Arduino on the push to talk pin, which wasn't being used. And sure enough, that's done it. So we'll test it online to see what it sounds like note-wise. But I think we've gotten over the problem, and we now have 50 watts happening on this unit. Woohoo! Well, we set ourselves up on a nearby SDR radio just to listen to the tone, make sure it's keying correctly and everything else. And who should I hear calling but VK3XU, Drew Diamond, and people in Australia will know who Drew is. Probably people from overseas will know who he is as well. He's a master home brewer, an ex-engineer, and he's the author of a fine series of books called Projects for the Radio Amateur, which I've talked about on this channel before and reviewed, and so link below to that. Now, those books were out of stock at the Wireless Institute of Australia for quite a while. I shot off an email, and I don't know if it's the email that's resulted in the stock being replenished. Most likely they do that as a matter of course, because despite the age of those books, they are very, very handy resources for anyone that likes to homebrew. The Beast, this is the first rig that I've built that has diode switching, and it's pin diode, but they're just normal power diodes that act as pin diodes. So it's a cheap way of implementing diode switching, and it works brilliantly. Everything so far that I've built that Drew has a hand in works. Sorry, itchy nose. Works faultlessly unless I do something to it and modify it, in which case it doesn't. Everything that's his end of things has always been very, very reliable and very well explained as well. So if you're ugly building, and a lot of the projects are ugly built, he has very, very fantastic diagrams and explanations of how to actually build the device, how to wind toroids, what they look like when they're wound, all that good stuff. So baby steps through the whole process, which is fantastic. So I cannot compliment those books enough. And as the universe would have it, the moment I'm testing that transmitter, which he has a hand in the design of, who should be calling on that exact frequency at that exact time? Drew Diamond. Drew Diamond! Woohoo! So the beast is ready to roar. This is our QRP Labs 50 watt amplifier. It is plugged into a 19.8 volt laptop supply, and we are on dummy load. And if I hit transmit, you can see there 50 wonderful watts. Happy days. See you in the next video. 7-3.